Hey friend, welcome to episode 1 of the Career Change podcast. Now, if you have the desire to do something different, if you want to change up your career in some way, but you don't know if now is the right time to start, then this episode is just for you. Today I answer this question and I give you a glimpse into my personal experience with putting off making a career change. So, let's get going. You're listening to the Career Change podcast with career coach, mum, and ex-corporate girl, Gina Hubbard. This is a no BS discussion about everything to do with your career, including how to make those hours at work happier, easier, and more fulfilling so that you can get on with living the life that you want. So, let's get going. So for our very first episode of the Career Change podcast, I thought I'd start with the question I get asked the most. And it's the question I see in a lot of Facebook groups, and I get asked this in networking groups, etc. as well. And I do get a variety of themes for this question, like there's a recession. I've just had this big thing happen in my life. They are laying off people at work. So is it the right time to change my career? Shouldn't I wait until it's a better time, until things are more settled? Shouldn't I wait for the right time? Now, I can relate to this. Back in 2016, I was working full-time in a corporate job and had started to hate it. In fact, I'd been unhappy at that job for a while, probably a couple of years, but it was around that 2016, 2017 that things started to get really bad for me there. Now, I didn't leave that job until February 2020. Yep, you heard me right. I stuck it out for years. When I did finally leave, I was burnt out, I was exhausted, and I was depressed. My confidence and my self-esteem was at an all-time low, as you would expect, right? If you see photos of me from back then, I look 150 years old. I've got these big dark circles under my eyes. But look, I stuck it out for one reason and one reason alone. I stuck it out because I kept telling myself it wasn't the right time to make a change. I was looking at all the external circumstances of my life, like finances, family, the economy, and I was allowing these circumstances to be the complete deciding factor on how long I stayed in that job. I was ignoring my mental, emotional, and physical health. I was missing the signs that things needed to change. I kept blaming the exhaustion and the frustration and anger that I was feeling about my job on my job. My body was giving me very clear signals that something was not right in my life, and I just kept thinking that I was getting older. I just kept ignoring it. And so I had no one to blame but myself. Now, I can hear you say, but Gina, we have to factor in the external circumstances, right? The family, the economy, and the finances. We can't just jump ship without knowing that what we are going to is going to meet our needs. I just can't leave my job without having another one to go to. I just can't change my career and start at the bottom of the ladder. I have a mortgage to pay and mouths to feed. I hear you, and I agree. You are absolutely 100% correct. But these external factors are exactly that. Things that we factor in when making a decision about changing your career. But they aren't reasons to not change your career. In fact, if you explore them, you'll probably find that they are reasons to change your career. But they don't operate in a vacuum. You have to have a holistic view of your whole life, both externally, like family and the economy, and internally, like how you are thinking and feeling about your job and yourself in that job. How are you feeling about your co-workers? What BS are you tolerating just to make it through the day? What BS are you telling yourself about your external circumstances? Is it even true? Or are you letting your brain tell you lies to keep you in your current job because really deep down you're afraid to make the change? Because let's be honest, changing your career at any time can be a big, scary thing to do, and our brains don't like big, scary goals. We have to work around our fearful thoughts so that we can continue on the path forward. We have to make sure that we practice a mindset that helps us have the life that we want, not a life of tolerating bad bosses and low pay in a job that just sucks the joy out of your life. Nothing is more important than your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health and well-being, because it goes with you wherever you go. A shitty attitude about your job affects every part of your life, not just the shitty part it came from. So if you don't get your mindset right before you change your career, you are just taking the emotional baggage from the old job with you. How you think and feel drives how you show up. It dictates your actions, and those actions create the results in your life. So if you are asking yourself if it's the right time to be focused on your career, the answer is yes. 100 million times yes. You spend so much of your life working. If you count all of your leisure time, not sleeping time, and you count all of the time you spend working, it will always be bigger than your true leisure time. So now is the perfect time to be focused on your career. It's always the right time. It is never the wrong time, because we should always be checking in and making sure that we are happy and still doing what we enjoy. How often do you evaluate your feelings about your job? It's easy, right, to get into doing mode and to forget to stop and to take stock of what's going on around us. And sometimes it's not until we start to feel overworked and overwhelmed, or if there is conflict at work, that we start to open our eyes to the reality of how we feel and how we are being treated at work. And then it might feel too late, because the physical toll of the stress and burnout are having a very real and very negative effect on you and your life. But listen, it's never too late, my friend. When I finally left my job in February 2020, I was completely burnt out. I decided that I wasn't going to do that to myself anymore, and I was going to start working in my coaching business full time. But then March 2020 happened, and I don't need to remind you about that period of our lives. Talk about a huge external circumstance with loads of uncertainty. No one really knew what was going to happen and how things were going to pan out. But I was able to recover from burnout and build my business. I didn't let a global pandemic stop me. In fact, I turned it around and used it to help me both personally and professionally. And along the way, I discovered a method, a way of making the change to your career that provides the most comfort, security, confidence, and certainty that you could possibly have, no matter what your circumstances are. And it's the process that I step my clients through, and it works. It works if you want to change your career to something completely different. It works if you love the company you work for, but you want to advance, get promoted, take on more challenging roles. It works if you want to transition out of working full-time for someone else and into working for yourself. Any type of career change you want to make, I've got you covered with this coaching method. But if there is one thing I want you to take away from today, it is this. If you have the thought running around in your head, I wonder if it's the right time to change my career, in whatever theme that you have that thought for a reason. It is not a random thought. It's not a throwaway comment if you speak it out loud. It's coming from some part of you that wants more for whatever reason, and I think it deserves listening to. You deserve listening to, because you matter. What you do in the world matters, and you deserve to have the life that you want and a career that you love. And that is my mission, my passion, and why I do what I do. You can probably hear it in my voice, because I know firsthand that it's possible to leave your shitty job and find something that you love. It's possible to start your own business that you've been dreaming about for years and telling yourself that you don't have what it takes, don't have the money you need, or that it's not the right time. But the dream, it just doesn't go away. It's possible, and it's the right time. No, it's the perfect time. Okay, that is all I have for you today. I'll be back in a couple of weeks with another episode. In the meantime, be kind to yourself, don't stop dreaming, and remember, you deserve to have a career and a life that you love, and it's possible. You've just got to keep going. Hey there, are you ready to know exactly why you can't make any progress in your career? If you've been working hard and are feeling burnt out and trapped, but you're not sure why, or you don't even know where to start to make positive change, then I've got you covered. Imagine what it would be like if you could earn the salary that you want, feel energized by what you do, and be free of self-doubt. And I'm here to tell you that you can. Your lack of confidence might be holding you back, and you might not even know it, so let's fix that. Click the link in the show notes to get my free masterclass on the 3 ways your lack of confidence sabotages your career and how to turn it around and get the salary you deserve. Inside, you'll learn the 3 key ways you might be sabotaging your own career, how these show up for even the most accomplished and self-aware woman just like you and me, and how to get your mojo back, reclaim the power in your career, and start finally earning the salary that you deserve. Born out of the blood, sweat and tears of going through this myself and the hundreds of hours of coaching women just like you to their own career success, the 3 ways I'm teaching in this training are little known and hardly talked about. So head over to the show notes now and click the link to get the free and instant access to this masterclass.